Hey everybody, good morning. I'm Larry Jacobs. This is Pre-K-12 Education Talk Radio, and it's almost Christmas. Okay, it's the 11th of December, 2024. Thanks for being with us today, and as you all know, I live in Maine, here in the good old U.S., which you'll see is an important distinction today. Okay, in Maine, we're supposed to get freezing rain. It's raining all day. There's about 4 or 5 inches of snow on the ground. Okay, our show today is about golf, but we're not going to be golfing today, okay, because of all that, okay? But I'm going to be talking to the folks over at LIV Golf, and that's capitalized because it's Roman numerals for 54 LIV, all right? And they're working with Discovery Education. That's why we're doing the show, okay? It's not a golf show. It's an education show. It's a multi-year partnership called LIV, L-I-V, if I may, to learn. Okay, that will impact about 500,000 students worldwide. Discovery knows what they're doing. LIV Golf knows what they're doing. We're going to find out all about it from the folks over at LIV Golf. I've got Jake Jones, who's the Senior VP over there of Impact and Sustainability. I love that. And I think Rowena Luscombe is here, too. She's Senior Director for Strategy of a consultancy called Think Beyond. I looked them up, and this is fantastic. So without any further ado, I'm going to talk about education, and I'm going to talk about golf internationally and here in the U.S. and wherever they want with Jake and Rowena. Ladies first. Rowena, I'm Larry. Good morning.
Good morning, Larry. Lovely to meet you over the airwaves.
Lovely to meet you, too. And I'm very good at accents. I can tell by yours. What part of Arkansas are you from? That's a joke. Okay, because where are you from?
Sitting in London,
are you in England? Yeah, talk to me. Where are you today?
I am indeed. I'm just outside London. Very grey day, but no freezing rain. So we're one up there. So that's a good thing.
Come to Maine, but any time in the winter. That's all I have to say. To be welcome here, Rowena. It is a pleasure. I'm going to talk to you in a minute, but I want to introduce Jake. Okay, but I want to get back to you about Think Beyond. Jake, how you doing today? It's Larry.
Yeah, hi, Larry. How you doing? I'm in London too. I'm in the centre of London at the moment. It's almost the shortest day of the year in terms of our daylight. It's pretty much dark now at 3:30 in the afternoon. Yep. So, cold, dark, grey, but that's exactly what we want at winter time, right? It would be strange if it was bright sunshine and too warm. So I'm all for the 4 seasons.
There you go, my friend, and so am I. And it's a pleasure to have you both here from across the pond, if I dare say. And I forgot about the time differences. I was starting to do the show here. You're right, it's almost dark there, for goodness sakes. Okay? And it will be dark very soon, okay? But we're going to bring light upon the subject. Before I get into LIV Golf, and by the way, do you like to pronounce it like that, Jake? I got to ask. I don't really know that. Is it LIV or LIV? How do you like it?
We call it's LIV Golf, so it's spelled LIV, and you're right. There is a play on the Roman numerals, particularly for those educators who are listening. It's a great way in for young people to engage with the name, actually. But LIV Golf, we can explain why it's 54 and why LIV later on, but we pronounce it LIV Golf.
LIV Golf, thank you very much. And Rowena, you're from Think Beyond the consultancy. It's called Think Beyond Consultancy. If anybody wants to go over, or consultants, excuse me, if anybody wants to go over there. Rowena, why are you here? How are you working with LIV Golf? And talk just a little bit about your company before we get into the education stuff and the golf stuff.
Sure, Larry. Thank you.
Brag a bit.
So Think Beyond is a social impact and sustainability consultancy. And we work in sport and entertainment. So we're really, really passionate about bringing together business success and societal progress. And so it's been an absolute honour. We've come together with LIV Golf on this over the last 2 years, I believe. So we've developed an ambitious strategy, and now we're starting to deliver on that strategy, really looking at how LIV, as a rights holder, can not only take the sporting world by storm and obviously support everything in terms of the performance sense of really look at how LIV can also look at its impact on the world through both education and also wider environmental sustainability strategies as well. that's what Think Beyond does. It works with a variety of clients, brands, rights holders, charities, national governing bodies, to really look at how sport can be that catalyst for change.
Right, and I looked at your list of that flashed on your website today. The list of clients is just amazing. Okay, and I invite anybody to go over there. Okay, it's thinkbeyond.consultants, and I'm telling you, it will be very impressive, and you'll see how impressive LIV Golf is by the folks they're working with. Okay, so I congratulate you on that, Rowena. It's really pretty cool.
Thank
I got to
you.
tell you, I really mean it. It really impressed me this morning. Okay, and okay,
it's
Jake,
a joy to work in something you love so much.
Are you at least getting to the golf matches? Are you at least going to the matches, Rowena? If not, I know Jake. If not, I know Jake, and I can get you free tickets. Okay, all right. Right. Mention my name, okay? Promise?
I'll do that.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, LIV Golf, LIV Golf. I know. Go talk to me about it. Okay, Jake, why don't you define it for everybody? And I think as you do, everybody will know what it is, but it's really pretty cool. And then talk about why education. And I love the sustainability part with Think Beyond. But go ahead. Jake Jones, everybody. What is it?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Larry. And Ro and I have worked together, for over 2 years now on this. And so, Ro, if there's anything that you jump in on, please do too.
Please do, Ro.
So LIV Golf is a global golf league. We operate in 2025. We'll be in 8 or 9 countries. In 24, we're in 9 or 10 different countries, and likewise in 23. So really global, and taking the elite level of the sport to locations where traditionally perhaps they haven't been served that quality product. And we're doing it in a way which is different to traditional golf. This means that we have 54 players, which is divided into 13 teams. And I know that this is an educator-focused podcast. So if you do the math, 13 and 54 don't necessarily go in together. So actually we have 2 wild card players. So we have 52 players on 13 teams and 2 wild card players to make it 54. They have 54 holes. So that means that a traditional golf, you would play a round of 18 holes for 4 days. Usually the Thursday, the Friday, the Saturday and Sunday. So that's 4 times 18 is those 2 holes. We play over 3 days and we play 18 holes each day. So that equals 54 holes. And the way that we do this is we have each team or each group of players starting at the same time. That's called a shotgun start, meaning that there's continuous action across all the holes on a golf course, which means the whole product, when you're watching it on TV, is done in 4 hours, meaning you can see the start to finish as opposed to watching something from 7 a.m. right through to 8 p.m. So it's a really engaging sport proposition for you to really get behind a team or a player. 54, as you can see from LIV, comes up quite a lot of times. So we've got 54 players. We play over 54 holes, which is 18 times 3 days. So it kind of made sense that we tried to reflect that in our name, and LIV just worked beautifully from a Roman numeral point of view too. I think where we're going on this, and we'll link this into the impact space now as well, is by creating a new product, whether that's in sport, whether that's in normal walks of life, a new confectionery or a new shoe brand or a new T-shirt, whatever it might be. I guess you've got different options on how to be successful, and one of those options is to be transformational and innovative and to bring in technology, which we see as really important things in today's world. So the way we constructed our product was to make it really engaging for fans, to adopt new technology, to bring in new innovation, and to be aware that there is a more digitally savvy and native audience out there who want to consume our product and our sport. The reality is golf is still golf. We are still playing the rules of golf. The rules haven't changed. We still play golf. It's just in a slightly different construct. And one of those things, I guess, linking into impact and sustainability was if we're going to try and do something transformational and innovative, we should also be looking at how we impact the communities around us and how we take a lead in the sustainability agenda. How do we do this in a way which is innovative and transformational? I've used those words a few more times. Well, that requires a slight reset in thinking. So traditionally sport, and this is in golf, just sport in general, over the last 30 years, have done a wonderful job at building local community engagement. And a lot of that is linked to sports clubs and teams who are community-based anyway. You look at some of the NFL or NBA teams who they don't move from their stadium, and therefore they can put deep roots into the community and really bring that community with them. When you're a league like we are, you're moving from different locations around the world, and so you've got lots of different communities to try to engage. So it required a slightly different approach, and that's where we started to work with Think Beyond and Ro and her team, which was, okay, what are some of the big global issues that we need to affect? And how would we affect those on a global stage? But because we will be in local communities, we need to make sure that we're able to affect and positively impact some of those issues at a local level too. And where do we start with that? And we kind of kicked around some ideas around, well, poverty is a pretty big issue around the world, is the number one issue for most locations, most countries. I'm not sure we can fix poverty. That requires quite a lot of different players to do. However, if we take poverty and start looking at, well, what are the component parts that cause poverty? Well, one of those is a lack of education. We know there are many other reasons, and I'm not going to go deep on those, but just one of those areas is a lack of available education or consistent education pathways to allow people to get the foundational knowledge to help them move out of, or provide them opportunities to move out of difficult situations that they might be in. So we thought, well, okay, that's an interesting place to play, and we did some research, and we worked out that there were, I think many of you will know this already, with the research and United Nations state too, there are something like 400 million young people not in education, employment or training. We call them NEETs. And something like that. That's a huge number. That's a country that's bigger, the size of a country bigger than the United States in terms of population.
That's right. That's right.
And young people as well. Young people from sort of ages 6, 7, 8, right up to 20, 21, 22. So, and they're our next generation. They're our future. And there's 400 million of those who are unable to be in education, employment or training. Well, that clearly feels like an area we can support and an area where we can actually try to drive some genuine change. Now, again, we understood that there are many, many different stakeholders that need to come together to affect long-term lasting change. But we can be one of those stakeholders, and the approach we've taken is I call it a shared value approach, which is different to a typical CSR approach, which is why we call our world impact and sustainability. CSR is a component part of impact. So philanthropy is a wonderful thing. It serves a great purpose, but a shared value model is working with a community to say, well, actually, what are your problems? Let me listen to you. Let me understand what's going to make the biggest difference. How do we work together? I might not be the expert, but I have some expertise in other areas that might be applicable. And how about you over there? You've got some extra expertise, and you over there, you've got some other expertise. If we come together, the sum of our parts might actually drive that real change. Nice. So we're applying this methodology everywhere we go. And this is
Jake, let me interrupt for 1 second. One thing I don't understand, I just don't understand this. Okay, when a LIV Golf team, does it represent a city? Like, is it the London golf team for LIV, or are you guys going to various golf courses all over the world? And does the team have a home court? Yeah. I'm just trying to figure that out because it's going to lead me to a couple of questions. But how's that work?
Yeah, it's a great question. So
Thank you.
in time, there'll be representation of locations. I think some of our, and certainly some of our teams are more national based. So we have a team Ripper GC, which is Australian. We have Stinger GC, which is South African. We have Majestics GC, which is broadly UK and Northern European. Fireballs, who are Spanish, and then we have some 4 or 5 American teams who will start to kind of zone out around different parts of the States. But we don't have the equivalent of the Tampa Bay Bucks or the Patriots, which are just located in one single city yet. But what that means,
that actually, then let me ask a question. I got to ask this question. If your just say your teams, if your teams, and this is fine, don't represent a particular city. Let's just use the UK. Okay, your UK team or teams represent the UK. Okay, so when you want to go in and use some of your incredible resources, and you guys do have great resources at LIV Golf, and you're doing a beautiful job with trying to help the communities. How are you going to? I'll use this word: select or place your resources. Okay, would you just place your resources to schools generically in the UK and just say they're LIV resources again through Discovery Education? Okay, or would you go into the local community? Okay, I'll say Woking. I know Woking. That comes to mind for some reason. And just do their schools. Talk to me about how you would do it. And I don't know why I said that. Yeah. I don't know why Woking. I read something about Woking yesterday. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, you might be the only person from Maine who has ever heard of Woking.
I like England. What can I tell you? All right, let's do Bath. You're in Bath.
Wonderful.
Right?
Bath is beautiful. There's a bit more complexity to the answer to that, and I'll try and be brief. I do appreciate I sometimes waffle on a little bit too much. The immediate point, I guess, for us would be we have an event in the UK. And our event is at the JCB course, which is up in the middle of the country. And so already we now have a location. We have an event. We will be there. We will put our event on in July. We were there July this year. And we will be there all week. And we'll have our full elite player team there, all 54 players. So the first part is, well, we know we've got a base. We're going to be competing in the equivalent of a soccer stadium, which is called a golf course. So that immediately can help us direct to, okay, where are the communities, where are the nearest populated conurbations that require some support, so we can start to look geographically near to the location of the event. And then where we have a team such as the Majestics, well, one of the things that we've been working on behind the scenes, and we launched it this year, was to create, use this word, innovative again, an idea which was to create a leaderboard, which is our impact leaderboard, where we have asked all of the teams to start building out their own impact strategies, and we will score them using golf scoring methodology, so a birdie or a par or a bogey, which is a +1, 0 or -1 score for those who don't know golf, based on some of the actions and activities that they partake in from an impact and sustainability point of view. And that gives that teams the remit to also pick locations and a strategy that is relevant to them. So if all 4 of their players happen to come from one city, then they could, if they wanted to, choose that one city. In the Majestics case, which is and so what the Majestics have done, which is the UK team, is they've actually created their own education program called Little Sticks, and they have gone national, and they've baked it into the physical education and well-being curriculum of a moment over 200 schools, with a view to get it over to thousands of schools over the course of the next year or two. And they're actually training physical education and teachers. They're baking it into the full curriculum. They have done an absolutely outstanding job to link golf, well-being, and educational outcomes into the physical education curriculum. So really what that allows us to do is go national.
Are you there, Jake?
Does that
oh,
help?
yeah, I heard you.
Yeah,
I thought I lost you for a second, the way you ended that.
No.
Okay, thank you. That was very helpful, the way you just described all that. So I want to swing back to Rowena. Okay, LIV Golf has a program. I have a feeling you guys are involved in this over at Think Beyond, called Potential Unleashed. Okay, the impact and sensibility strategy. That's just sensibility. I'm thinking of sense and sensibility. Impact and sustainability strategy. Okay? Okay, talk about what you're trying to accomplish here and how education's involved with this, because I love what you guys are doing and the way you're getting involved with the communities. Rowena, Row.
Great. Thank you, Larry. So
you're welcome.
Potential Unleashed is LIV Golf's social and sustainability strategy overall. It essentially breaks down into two programmatic areas. One is that LIV Golf will positively impact 5.4, you see the recurring theme, young lives, and the other is that it will hit some climate goals over a period of time to 2030. So we have got, within that, we've got various different programs. We've got Live to Learn, which is, as we've talked about, the education program. We've also got Transform the Game, which is all about diversity and really encouraging more diversity into the game of golf. And then we also just have a key piece, which is which is just the way we live, which is actually just the core way that LIV just operates and just are and just be. So Live to Learn is the kind of key piece that I've worked a lot on, and that the Discovery Education Partnership fall under. And really that's just an outcomes-based program where LIV have sought out the best ways that we can have as much social impact as possible, both in areas where the tournament is actually happening, but also at a more global level, and partnerships are absolutely key to that. So we've got the Global Education Partnership with Discovery, which is all about bringing as many resources we can into the classroom and also into communities. Thank you. And making sure that golf can really be used as a different way of teaching. We also have some fantastic partnerships at local levels where you've got organisations who are local to tournaments that have happened, where real kind of legacy results that are happening there. So, for example, we work with an organisation called Football Mass because LIV have been in Mexico on a Mexico course for the last few years. And they've now helped over 4,000 young people in their communities. Wow. They've set up brand new programming with the support of LIV. They're doing education through golf. One of the really wonderful things that we hear from them is, even though Football Mass in the name, they obviously had their roots in football, soccer, not your football. But one of the things that they discovered in their...
That's football to you, soccer to us. American
soccer
football.
To you.
What can I tell you? Yeah.
And one of the things that they really discovered is then when they're doing their community outreach work, new sports are everything for them. Everyone plays football, but if you don't play football, then it's actually quite a barrier to entry. Maybe there's another sport that you've seen everyone playing, but you're not sure if you can play that sport because there's lots of people who are already really good at it. Whereas when they've actually, within their communities, what they've seen is when they've introduced new sports, everyone comes because it's new to everybody. There's no people who are better already, no people who aren't so good. It's just a level playing field. And golf has given them that. So when they went into two brand new...
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt. I do, but I want to ask this question. Golf let me say this in full. Golf takes up a lot of room. It takes a lot of room to play golf. You need a golf course. That's big, okay? And a lot of kids that you want to reach regarding teaching them the teamwork, the skills, the resilience, they're in urban areas. And in urban areas, it's a little harder to find a golf course, okay? I mean, there are plenty in big cities, don't misunderstand, but it's still harder, all right? And it costs money and all that sort of thing. You can't just play on an open field. But in this age of technology, okay, there's golf simulators. They're all over the place. All right, and I'm curious, okay, if you're using any kind of technology like that to get the skills of golf across, in this day and age? I'm just curious about that because I've seen so much about golf simulators these days. I'll let you answer that, Ro. If you want to, you can swing it over to Jake.
Yeah.
So we're actually in communities. Oh, sorry, Jake. I'll just jump in quickly. We're actually in communities, Larry, where a golf simulator would be an absolute pipe dream. We are in communities that couldn't even imagine a golf course. So, for example, with Football Must, we are playing on dirt ground. They're finding a ball. They're finding something that can resemble a stick. And they're introducing the fundamentals of golf, but much more importantly, educating through golf. So the fact your mind needs to be still before you take your next shot, the fact that LIV does work in a team environment, they're taking all of those things and just literally using the resources that they have. And this ties really nicely into one of the games that's on the Discovery platform, where we're inviting families to just create a golf course out of anything. And so one of the things that LIV is really trying to do in that innovative space is make sure that people have access to golf, but not necessarily the traditional sport, which is one of the really cool things about this and why we love working on this partnership.
Yeah, I think it's terrific. And Jake, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Ro. It's exactly right. Just building on what Ro has just said. It actually. Please. This is why I'm just going to go back just a couple of minutes when Ro was talking about Potential Unleashed, which is our impact and sustainability strategy.
You almost said sensibility too. I don't know why. It's impact and sustainability. I started to train. I'm sorry.
It's definitely. It's why we have 2 or 3 pillars, and one is around Live to Learn, with education, and one is around Transform the Game. And one is around sustainability. And if you think about Transform the Game, what you're talking there, Larry, about is actual formal participation in the sport of golf. And that fits under Transform the Game, which is how do we encourage young people from perhaps more underrepresented communities and backgrounds to find their way into the sport in either a sports participation way, or in an employment way. There's no reason why people wouldn't be doing my job or Ro's job or social media or hospitality, or even a scaffolder or a rigger putting up structures for a hospitality location. So lots of opportunities for employment. And then the Live to Learn, which is where we've been talking about now, and the example Ro gave is using golf as a platform to better curriculum and educational outcomes. So in this instance, you don't need an actual 5-iron and a 3-par hole to play golf. What you need is some equipment which you can cobble together yourself, or there's lots of playful golf equipment. Snag Golf is a really good product out there, which is perfect for young children to be able to play in confined spaces, or a playground, or on a dirt soccer pitch, etc. But the focus there is much more around, as Rose said, what might the physics be of a golf swing? If you tweak the angle of the head of the golf club, is that going to change the trajectory of the golf ball? What about the environment you're in? Is it full of weeds and bushes and lush grass, or is it dirt and sand? So what happens with the ball? Do you think it's going to bounce further, or do you think it's going to hold up? Is there a strong wind, or is it raining, or is it still and calm? These are the things that we're trying to build with Discovery Education in our modules to help that STEM and well-being and sustainable learning through the game. So I guess the phrase that Ro and I have used is, how can we impact in golf and through golf? So in golf is within the sport itself and get more people playing and working in golf, and through golf is using the sport and LIV Golf's role to just improve people's lives.
Whoever found Discovery did a good job. You found the right company. How'd you? I don't know whether I'll stay with you, Jake. But if it's Ro, pass it over. How'd you find Discovery? I think that's great that you guys came together.
I'll start and I will pass it over to Ro, because Ro is integral to it all. We, as you'd expect with anything like this, we will go through the right procurement channels. We'll run a formal RFP process, and we'll outline exactly what it is we're looking for. And there are many EdTech platforms out there, and we wanted to make sure that we got the best one that was right for us, and we engaged as part of an extra project, Ro, to say, well, help us out on this, you know this space best. And Ro, I guess you've had experience previously with Discovery.
Ro?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just brought together a short list of people who we knew who could do this job for LIV, people that we'd worked with before, people that we knew about in the space. Just put them through their paces, went through a really rigorous process to decide who we could best work with. Mm-hmm. Obviously, with our 5.4 million young lives, we have lofty targets. And the wonderful thing about Discovery is they are so well respected, can sort of help us get into classroom spaces and community spaces. But
exactly. There's a whole Discovery Education
resources.
Network. They have a huge reach out there to educators, and they also put together great curriculum, if I may. Okay, so it's a good mix. But being in your industry, and Jake obviously in his, it's hard to find the right company. You did a good job on this. It's really good. I can't tell you how important it is. I have to say this. LIV Golf, it's well funded. Okay, and a lot of big companies out there, corporations, they're well funded. They have a lot of money, and if school districts don't, or ever how schools work in any given country, they're always looking for resources. All right, and for I'll say a corporation, a company, what you guys are doing, however you define yourselves, okay, over at LIV Golf. I mean, for you guys to reach out and take some of those resources and create new resources for schools, okay, it not only helps you, but it helps those schools so much, and to give them something that the kids can really bite into, that they can find really interesting. Okay, it's just so important, and this is what corporate. What are you a corporate? I keep using it. How should I define you? Are you a foundation? What are you, Jake? What are you guys?
No, we are a corporate golf league, like other sports organisations. Yeah. The difference with us is we have put impact and sustainability at the heart of our business. I'm on the part of the wider senior group here that can actually try to embed this thinking across our business internally. Like, employees are so important to driving this change and embedding it in their day-to-day roles, to then all of us to collectively roll it out to communities as one. And I totally agree with you that we were talking earlier about where do we start, and from our potential unleash strategy, we've got education as the right place. There's a reason why there are 400 million young people not in education, employment, or training, and one of those is just the lack of funding and the lack of provision in some parts of the world too many parts of the world. People don't. And it's not because people don't want to be educated. They really, really do. It's just that there's just no funding or process or structure to be able to do it. And that's where, when we built Live to Learn with Discovery Education, we thought, well, the one route, and we have a multifaceted approach to Live to Learn. Some sort of in person, in very local groups with organisations like Football Mass. But one way we could get some scale and reach would be to work with Discovery Education on our Live to Learn program. So those who are listening, it's on. You can find it at livetolearn.org. So that's LIV and then TOLEARN.org. So Live to Learn.
Live to Learn. Wait a minute, let me say it again. Livetolearn.org. Right?
Yeah. Thank you. That's our powered by Discovery Education. It's our Live platform, and it's going to be being built out further and further over the course of the next year. But already up there, we've got 3 ready-to-use activities, which are digital learning resources, and they're focused on STEM and well-being and resilience and sustainability. I love, there's a great one around understanding Newton's law of motion, with a golf swing and a golf ball. Some really, really great stuff there. We've got classroom facilitator.
It would have helped me in physics, Jake. It would have helped me pass physics. about 12 million years ago.
Likewise, me too.
Yeah,
likewise, me too. There's a facilitator guides and activities, so teachers and educators can download the facilitator guide to explain how to run the videos and how to run the sessions, and then get their students partaking in an activity. You've got as Ro has said, you've got a family and after school activity, which is where you might make your own golf course or golf hole and shot. But all of it's linked back to decision making, problem solving, self management skills, and facilitator guides on how around how we do that. Then we've got a wider program facilitator guide too. And then we're really excited. In February, we're launching our virtual field trip. So our last event of the 2024 season was our team championships in Dallas, and that was in mid-September. And we had the folk at Discovery Education with us for the whole week filming lots of behind-the-scenes footage and lots of interviews. And we've created this fantastic virtual field trip to bring young people into a LIV Golf event, but layer it in with educational outcomes. So explaining how you can develop and apply some of the learnings that you might have had in your science lesson around understanding data and looking at different solutions and how you might make decisions, and then linking it back to our team champs. So I'm really, really excited to launch that in February. So I'd recommend certainly all your listeners to jump online and have a look at it and keep coming back. Tons of stuff. We'll have digital lesson bundles. I mean, everything that you've said about Discovery Education is true for us. That the products and the different curriculum-based initiatives that just keep on coming. So we're not planning this to be a platform where you dial in once and then thank you and walk away. Just keep coming back. So we're keeping updating as we go through the next multi-years. So really excited to see where this can take us.
I think it's going to take you pretty far. It's a great idea. You're working with a great partner, and I got to thank you both for not only doing the show but doing this and getting this together. I think it's just great. Ro, thanks a million for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ro.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and I hope that day gets. I know it's probably dark by now, but it's going to get brighter. Okay, as we eventually get to spring, we'll just do that. Jake, I can't thank you enough. Okay, all well explained, well done. You guys are doing great. Thank you both, and happy holidays.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, you too.
Happy holidays. We've reached that time when we can say that now.
We have. time to go shop.
We really can.
Okay, time to go shop.
Thank you, Larry.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. You take
Bye-bye.
care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Great folks. Okay, that's our last show of the year, everybody, so it's a good one. Okay, check it all out. I got it all linked, and we'll see you again soon. Okay, I'm Larry Jacobs. This is Pre-K-12 Education Talk Radio, and have a great day.
Good sleep should come naturally, and with a new Natural Hybrid mattress, it can. A collaboration between Lisa and West Elm, the Natural Hybrid is expertly crafted from natural latex, natural wool, and certified safe foams to elevate your sleep sanctuary and support a greener tomorrow. Breathable organic cotton and moisture-wicking Joma wool consistently provide cool and comfortable slumber. Every purchase helps fuel Lisa's work with shelters and those in need. Visit lisa.com to learn more. That's LEESA.com.
If you're a facilities manager at a university, you know students rely on the cafeteria for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the occasional late-night snack. So when a dishwasher breaks down and dirty plates pile up, the mess hall can turn messy in the blink of an eye. Enter Grainger. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast delivery, the product you need now is never far away. So you can turn that dishwasher back into a lean, clean washing machine. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.